All right, everybody. Welcome. Episode number 41. This is great. We're having a good time, and we're just going to keep this thing going. The Metal Block, we love the show. We love talking about some metal. We've been having some great bands. 2025 has been really, really cool. A lot of good music's already been released, and we've had a chance to talk to some real cool bands along the way so far. And we get to do that again tonight. We seem to have the most fun doing it. And so, like I say, week after week, whenever we have somebody on, like, this is, like the best, and this is what we're here for. We're here to support the music and support the artist. And we have Infinite Sleep with us tonight. Chris and Jess, why don't you guys say what's up real fast?
What up, y'all? I'm Chris.
What's up? I'm Jess.
Guys, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. You guys from the Bay Area, right?
Yep, we're from San Jose, East Side San Jose. A couple little East Side Mexican kids.
That's awesome. You got pretty oceans around there, though, right?
Yeah, we got Santa Cruz, but like 20, 25 minutes away.
San Francisco.
San Francisco's terrible, but whatever.
You know what? This is not metal, but it kind of is, because great white sharks are pretty metal. But I think like just 27 miles off the coast of San Francisco, there's like this island where these great white sharks go to all the time. And I know it's 27 miles away, but that's still too close to San Francisco for me to be like, hey, let's go swimming in San Francisco.
You'd be surprised how often you see people like doing those early morning swims in the bay. It's kind of crazy, man. Like, I see it all the time.
Yeah, and you're just like, it's feeding time. Watch out. Oh, man. Well, that's, not what we were going to talk about exactly, but that's still fun. But I think we're going to talk about some metal. We're going to talk about some music. We're going to get into what you guys have been doing lately and what you got coming up. So everybody out there, don't forget to check it out on the social media. Don't forget to come and say what's up. Send us a message. Reach out to Brutal Brando on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, whatever your heart desires, and let him know what you're thinking. We actually had somebody respond last week, or on the last one, about the laundry. We had a laundry question in one of our episodes, and I was just like, hey, where's you guys' laundry at right now? And somebody actually hit us up on the YouTube channel, and they were like, hey, half mine's in the chair, half mine's in the dryer, and we were like, aha! Everybody, so if your laundry's out there in the chair or in the dryer, you're in good company. We said it last time, and it was proven. It was proven with the masses. So, hey, I'll quit rambling on, and I'll turn it over to Brando, and he's going to get us started with some questions. Thanks again, guys, for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So, Chris and Jess, let's start with what do you guys do in the band? What are your roles?
So I'm the guitarist, rhythm.
I'm the vocalist. Sorry, I keep rubbing my eye. It's freaking tearing up. I don't know what you have on this freaking counter.
We have that effect on people.
Yeah, you're beautiful. So beautiful. I'm so happy to be here. I just want to cry.
Oh.
So, Infinite Sleep, man. Been listening to you guys put out a EP called Martyrs last year. I think in March, right? So it's been out for just about a year.
I think it was September.
Oh, was it September?
Yeah, it was September.
Music, man. Did you guys release you released a single earlier in the year, probably. Yeah, that's what it goes by.
Yeah, so we were going to release it on our own, but we ended up getting picked up, and I think that's what took a while for it to come out, so.
Yeah. We had almost a year. But...
Yeah.
Well, it's 4 pretty crushing songs. Been listening to it a lot. It's really good. The Clone Saga gets me every time, dude. That shit is cool. The 4th track, it's all very good. But tell us a little bit about the band and how you guys kind of got started.
Go ahead, take it over.
I had only been in one other band before. It was like a local San Jose band, and one of our guitarists went to UCLA. He left to go to school in the middle of it. So then after he was finishing up school and that band started wrapping up, everyone kind of just whatever, called it a day. I think that band lasted about 7 years. So around 2012. Me and the other member, we just started like file trading, you know what I mean? Program drum, Fruity Loop drums. I don't know if you guys remember Fruity Loops. And just
Oh yeah.
stuff like that, you know what I mean? And it just, whatever, it just evolved to something else. And the point of it was always to be heavy, because with my other band, it was like heavy, but then it was like melodic stuff, like singing and stuff. And you know what I mean? And it just, I don't know. I always wanted to attempt to freaking be Corpse Grinder, or like, you know what I mean? It's just brutally heavy, which I wasn't able to until later. Like, I had no lows. Imagine, like, I don't know, kind of like metalcore. Like, I don't know if you guys remember 18 Visions. If you guys remember that band, but like a Trustkill band. That was like the only tone it had, was like a real kind of like lows until later on. So, but anyway, yeah, that's pretty much.
Well, you know, I was actually going to comment. I was going to make a point, as I really like how you go from hardcore screaming to doing some like death metal growls or death metal lows. I mean, it really kind of makes it a little more well-rounded whenever I like stack it up against, you know, some of these other, gosh, I mean, it's hard to even stack sometimes metal bands together anymore, but, you know, because everybody's just so different. But maybe this like hardcore or post-hardcore kind of style, you know, that it anyway. I thought it was really good to still, especially me being the old old man death metal fan, you know, still having some good old low growls in there really, you know, brings a smile to my face.
I mean, if I could do pig squills, I would, but like that's literally something I could never do. I don't think that's something I'll ever do. You know what I mean? I mean, I love them. I love listening. You know what I mean? Peeling flesh, snuffed on sight. You know what I mean? Like that stuff's crazy. Like those vocals are insane. Old All Shall Perish. You know what I mean? Or he did it on the last record too. But, I'm a fan of it, just like you guys. Like if I could, I would. But.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I would too.
Heck yeah. So Chris, when did you come into the fold?
All right, so this band's been around for what, 13 years? I think that's where we're trying to go with that. It's been out for a long ass time. I've always been a big fan of them since back in high school. Like we went to the same high school, but we're like a couple years apart.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I would go to all the old shows from his old band called Redfall, and you know I just did my old like metalcore stuff back in the day. But he like hit me up like 2022, and he was like, "Hey man, like I need another guitar player. You want to come check it out?" I was like, "I haven't played guitar in probably about 5-6 years. I kind of switched over to bass, and I was in a crust black metal band at the time." And so I was like, "Yeah, dude, let me see what I can do." So I just picked up a 7-string, and then I kind of came over to practice, and it kind of just happened real quick. So yeah, so I joined in 2022, and then probably 4 or 5 months afterwards, our lead guitar player like quit on us. Mm-hmm. He's I need a break, and we're like, okay, cool, sure. How long is this break going to be? Ended up being about a year. And so in that year, we just kind of like had other guitar players come and fill in for when we could do like shows and stuff and like little runs, but it didn't really work out too often. And then I think when we released the last CD, or was it the EP?
EP, I think.
The last EP before Martyrs, he came back, did a show with us, and that was all his material. But after that, he said like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna step away for a while. Like, I don't think I'm gonna do this anymore." So.
No, what he said was, he's like, "I don't know if I want to play anymore." Then he joined another band. So I'm like, "Oh, that's cool, man." Whatever, but it's all good. But yeah.
Yeah, he was the lead guitar player like since day one, right? 13 years, he wrote all the material, and that stuff was, I loved it. It was Deftones / Poison the Well with a little bit of hardcore. It was cool. I've always been a big fan of that. Like Deftones is like my favorite band of all time, and same thing with Poison the Well. But as soon as he bounced and we found our lead guitar player Mark, we were like, dude, let's start it from scratch. Let's like not play anything from the old catalog. Like I don't have any connection to any of this stuff besides like being a fan of it. So we put our heads down during that time, and we just started like cranking out a couple songs, and it kind of just became this like thrashy, not necessarily deathcore, like genty, like 4-song EP. And I don't know, it's just kind of what we're going for. Like I don't even know what to call it because it's not hardcore, it's not death metal, it's not metalcore. Like we don't really know what it is just yet.
Yeah, and that's why I said post-hardcore. But I mean, there's always like a purist out there too, like that is, or a gatekeeper, I guess is a better word. Somebody who's like, that's not what that is, and I'm like, oh, my bad. And so sometimes I do kind of say something, and I'm always hesitant to put a label on it. And I always tell people, even like my kids, I'm like, metal has more subgenres than any other genre. Like, it has to. It has to.
How much stuff is like what people just categorize stuff as.
I know.
And so, like, for us out here, like, the Bay Area is like pretty much like a hardcore scene. Like, that is the bread and butter of the Bay Area. Like, we have some of the biggest acts come out of the Bay Area. We have Tsunami, we got Scowl, we have Deathcore, we have Spite comes out of here. We know them. They're fucking cool ass dudes. But yeah,
isn't Exhumed also from
yeah,
the Bay Area?
Exhumed. I mean, death metal too, man. Like, and black, like we have like Deathgrave, we have Necrot.
Possessed is from here too, San Francisco.
Yeah.
All Shall Perish is what, Oakland?
I was about to say All Shall Perish.
Yeah.
That's the homie right there.
Blood
Yeah.
Runs Black.
Yeah, it's a big area.
Yeah.
Decrepit Birth, right? Did somebody say that one already?
No. I think they're Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
For sure. Arsonist. Arsonist's got all the girls. Yeah, there's a bunch of cool shit here. I don't know. We're lucky enough to like go to the shows. You know what I mean? Just around here, you don't have to go that far. So.
I went out to the Bay Area Death Fest in 2018, I think it was, when like the Decrepit Birth and Aborted and the Zenith Passage and all that, and it was fucking awesome. It was
Oakland Metro. Oakland Metro.
I don't remember where it was actually, man. It was so long ago.
Cool.
I have no idea exactly. I know it was in Berkeley, to be exact.
Okay. What, in Gilman or?
No, not Gilman. It must have been the Cornerstone.
Yeah,
it was like a theater type vibe that had like a bar that connected to it. If that.
Yeah, Cornerstone for sure.
Yeah.
We saw Boundaries there
sick.
not too long ago. Yeah. Cool, man.
Yeah, super good times.
So what is the metal scene like out there? I mean, you mentioned hardcore, metalcore, and then we kind of mentioned a whole bunch of other stuff too. But right now, what kind of shows are you guys going to whenever you're just checking out local bands?
We're the old guys in the room for the hardcore shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like we come from like my main background is like hardcore metalcore, and it died off for a while. Like there was a big like time where there was just like not a lot going on here, but now it's just like the big resurgence of hardcore. So we go support all the kids, see what they're doing, and it's pretty cool, man. That's kind of the big thing. Like I would say it's like pretty much hardcore and death metal, I guess I would say. Black metal is kind of like in the background, but it kind of just blends into death as well.
More like San Francisco's more like black metal, I would think, or like Santa Cruz, Oakland. Yeah. There you go. But yeah, it just depends on what city you go to and what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like everyone would like to say everything's like united and whatever, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's still like, oh, you're gonna go to this promoter show for this kind of deal. You know what I mean? The only one I wouldn't say I'd say is pretty well rounded is R&RG. That's like a really big promoter right now. Like it's like the biggest hardcore shows, and then they have like black metal shows. Like, you know what I mean? It's pretty cool, and they have like maybe more. I don't know that one. It's like a shoegaze kind of. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Kind of like alt.
Yeah. The only thing that's cool about it is I don't know. Like I'm a firm believer in like. It doesn't even have to be young kids. It can be anybody. Like, hey, man, like, some people need music, and some people need a place to go. You know what I mean? And for the fact is, it's so accessible, you know what I mean? And you don't have to look at your phone, you know what I mean? I don't know. A lot of people put a lot of shit into that where it's like, sorry, I don't know if I can cuss. A lot of people put a lot into that where it's like, oh, well, like online presence and this and that. It's like, I'm old school where, hey, man, like I want to go forget about every shitty thing in my life. Like, go watch this band that I'm finding out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's more human.
Totally, brother, man. I'm with you. And you can say whatever you want to on this podcast, just so you know. But that is, I'm with you, man, because like for me, going to a show is like hands down the best. And like whenever we kind of first started doing the podcast, I used to always like be like, oh, I got to get a lot of pictures, I got to get a lot of videos, and then it like wasn't as fun for me. And I realized like what I was missing was just sitting back and enjoying the show. So a lot of times I'll like limit myself. I'm like, okay, you get like 1 or 2 pics of the bands, maybe a video or 2, but the rest of it is enjoying the show and getting your phone out of the freaking way so other people can enjoy the show too. And that's something that I've been trying to focus a lot more on. And it comes back to what you just said right there, man. Just being old school and it being online. I mean, it's great that it's so accessible because people today have access to things that you remember like back in the day, like we didn't even know we liked a band. Like we would see their logo on a flyer or something and we'd be like, we got to check these dudes out, like that looks like a cool logo, or look who they're playing with, like they got to be a cool band. And so like that's how we learned a lot of that stuff. And nowadays you can go on, I don't know, what is it, like Metal Hammer or something, and see like the 500 releases that are going to be coming out. And it's great, but what we lose is what you just said, just going to shows, sitting back and enjoying the show. And some people need it, man. And that is 100% true. I've met people in my life that need at least music in some form. So many people I know. And, a lot of them, because it's just a crowd of them around metal. It's, a good metal show, a place to, hang out with the bros, hang out with your friends, and let loose a little bit of energy, maybe throw back a few beers while you're there, and just kind of forget about, the fact that we're all going to work tomorrow or whatever. So, that's part of the real experience, man, and that's the human part of it. So, yeah, man, I know exactly what you mean.
But yeah, the scene is really well alive here. Like you go to the shows, like we went to a show like a couple weeks ago on a Monday to go support our friends, and there was at least like 100 kids there on a Monday night in downtown San Jose, which is pretty dead. We really don't really have that many venues like left in the Bay, like in San Jose at least. We have like one bar that it's a 21 over for like shows. We have a club that's 21 over for bigger shows. It's all underground, metal and hardcore. Like it's alive right now. It's cool. They're doing it in like warehouses and art studios, galleries, all kinds of shit. Parking lots. I think there used to be a spot where it was like under a bridge or a overpass, like in a neighborhood.
That's fucking cool.
It was called a pillar. I never went to that one, but like it was like like the ravine of like a underpass.
I went to a show at the. It was like it's called the GameStop, but it's not. It's called the Game Shop, but it's in the GameStop like font.
It's the underground.
Yeah,
it's the underground
That's
like
cool.
video game store.
it's like literally like a basement.
Yeah.
And then I forgot his name. He's in the Locust, and he plays in Dead Cross with Mike Patton, the guitarist. I forgot his name, but his band played there. There was like maybe like 30 people there, and it was just insane. And it felt like there was 100 people because that place is like literally a closet. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. Like
Yeah, intimate
That's cool.
shows like that are badass. I'm a
For
big
sure.
fan of that. We had some
Yeah.
pretty sick house shows in Norman, Oklahoma at my house. Like, we'd have big touring bands stop through and play there, and we'd open up for them. And it'd be, we'd pack
that's awesome.
like 100 kids in my house that night, and, just absolute insanity. A small little, 2-bedroom house. That was good times.
Yeah, those are the best, man. You're just
Yeah.
right there on ground level with everybody, as fans with the band, or even as from the band's point of view on the ground with the fans. I mean, it's like, it's really cool. It's really cool. I like it, whenever metal gets kind of peeled back away from the big venues sometimes. Like, I mean, it's nice to get comfortable being an old guy, and having a nice venue to go to, but sometimes a hard concrete floor to stand on the whole time, is like really just what everybody needs to, be better.
That game shop experience you guys just mentioned reminds me of so goddamn, what was that? It was like 07 maybe. Greg and Zumi, like Devourment came through Norman, Oklahoma and played a little tiny venue in Norman, Oklahoma called Studio 360. I think that place only held like 75 to 100 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We packed it out, and it was just a bloody devourment show. Like it was awesome. It was so brutal and cool, man. I think that was one of the cooler experiences that I've been a part of. Like we didn't play it or anything, but that was cool as hell having them come play
was a cool
some tiny
night.
little room in Norman, Oklahoma.
I played a couple of barns. They're fun.
Wild, bloody little night, actually. Yeah, I ended up like elbowing a kid in the face that night and like cracking his tooth in. It was a crazy night. Yeah, yeah. And then him and I were like in the bathroom, like my nose was bleeding and he was bleeding, and we were like broing it out together and shit, you know. And, yeah. Anyways, yeah, devourment.
We used to have back in the early 2000s, like the main like venue we had out here was called the Cave. It was like the rec room of a church, right? And that thing held like 200 kids. It was a big room. Anyways, we had some of the best shows that come through. We had Remember Never come through. I saw them play for like it was like a Wednesday night for like 50 kids, and I was like right in the front for that show. We had the Chariot come
That's
through.
sick.
Had August Burns Red during the Thrill Seeker album. One of the best shows of my life. That's kind of what changed me to like be like a guitar player. Was like JB's like skills, dude, is insane. Like that album just changed my life. But seeing those shows at like a venue like that was the shit.
I was gonna ask real quick before. Where are you guys located at? You guys are in Oklahoma.
I'm in Oklahoma, in Tulsa.
Cool.
I'm in Norman, Oklahoma, which is really OKC metro area, pretty much. So, what, Greg? About 2 hours southwest of where you're at in
Yeah, it's
Tulsa.
like 2 hours exactly.
Yeah.
And I am in Houston, Texas.
Awesome. My godfather lives in Houston, so cool.
All right. We
Cool,
don't know
man.
which
I was just wondering. You guys know where we're at.
We don't know where you guys are at.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. You know, I always think of, Bay Area, I always think of, thrash metal. That's the big thing that comes to mind. I'm not sure exactly where all the bands, originated, but I know a lot of those American thrash metal bands from the 80s, like, your big four, maybe not Anthrax, but Megadeth, Metallica, and I don't know, wasn't Slayer from California too?
Players from LA.
From LA. Okay.
LA.
You know what's
Different
weird?
different than the band.
Yeah, it's like 6 hours south. So we're like Northern California, but we're really like just south of north. We're not central. Central's like Bakersfield, like freaking bumfuck nowhere. But we're around the water. We're Northern California. Like Sacramento is like 2 hours north of us. So and then LA is like 6 hours down south, 5.5 hours. It's a big ass state. Like it takes you fucking 12 hours to get
huge.
from tip to tip.
I can relate
Yeah.
to that.
A whole lot of ground.
And
to
down in Texas.
I'm,
A whole lot of
I moved here
straightaways.
I moved here from Tucson, Arizona. I used to live in Oklahoma. I moved to Arizona, and then we moved here. And dude, that drive, I think half of that drive from Tucson to here was just Texas, just going through Texas, man. It was crazy. It's a huge state. California's long, man.
This is long, dude.
Really
Like-
long state.
Going to Disneyland is like a 6 hour drive, just going straight on the 5.
Have you guys ever done the driven up or down? I guess for you guys, it's down like Route 1.
Nah, I'm like the coastal. Yeah, it's like a coastal route. I've never done it. Like it's weird. Like I'm not like big on the like all our beautiful areas. Like I'm a city kid.
Nothing
I've
wrong
done
with
it.
that.
It's cool. I've done it.
Yeah.
I've like flown in and rented a car and
Yeah.
done that shit. Just, I mean, like, go smoke some good weed and just drive up and down the coast. I mean, I usually end up in the redwoods though and spend some time in my life in Arcata. So I usually have a plan when I did it. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I'm a nerd like that though. I'll just cruise and want to see the
It's-
sights.
I'm
You know,
just
being in
so-
Oklahoma. It's not, we don't have much to look at here, so we
Right.
get excited when we see cool things.
Like I don't know. Like I'm not big on the beach. Like I don't go to Santa Cruz that often. I don't put my feet in the sand. Like I don't know, dude. I'm just
Yeah.
like I like to stay inside.
I get it. I get it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well,
So,
back to what I was asking. What bands influenced you? Like, what bands would you guys throw it up to?
You go first.
Deftones, dude. Deftones is like my favorite band of all time. Like Chino
There you go.
vocals, Steph's guitar playing, Cheese bass, Abe's drums, Frank's like keyboard, all that stuff, man. Like, there's not one bad album. I don't care what anyone says. It's the shit. But yeah, like Deftones, Poison the Well, the Acacia Strain,
Absolutely.
stuff like that. Fit for an Autopsy, you know. I kind of like my playlist to like listening music goes from anywhere from like indie rock to fucking black metal. So I'll go from Interpol
Yeah.
to like Behemoth, and everything in between for the most part.
I feel like I hear like a slight misery signals
Misery Signals is the
influence
biggest.
in your music a little bit. I don't know why. It like gives me a sort of like a misery signals vibe in some songs. I don't know
Yes.
if you've ever heard that or not.
So our lead guitar player Mark, he kind of like comes from like the tech death world, and that's kind of his like forte. But we do listen to a lot of Misery Signals. Actually, we had Carl on the last record,
The last EP,
the last EP that
he's
was,
on.
yeah,
Oh, really sick.
he's
Yeah.
on. It's called Sunburn, but yeah, we got him on there. He's fucking amazing vocalist. But yeah,
Badass.
we don't play those songs anymore.
Oh yeah, why not?
I just feel like I have no connection to it. It's everything from here on out is going to be anything I put my foot on, or our guitar player Mark. Like, I just kind of wanted, like, it's almost like a revamp of the name without change. We didn't want to change the name. We like the name. Plus, we have hella merch, so let's just keep holding on to it. But like I just
Absolutely.
feel like it's not something I want to play. I just kind of like where we're going with the new
Like a
stuff.
new version of the band.
Yeah, and it's like we people that listen to us, they like the old stuff, and I do too. I feel like we needed something refreshed. They've been Infinite Sleep's been around for 13 years. Like
It's dated.
it's not necessarily dated, but it's just not what I'm trying to play. And it kind of popped off with like this 4-song EP. It kind of just got a little bit of traction going. So I think we're gonna just stick with it and keep going.
Absolutely, man. People evolve as musicians, I mean,
Yeah.
that's definitely what happens,
And if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, it's kind of the definition of insanity. So I figured I'm different.
Yeah. Plus, it's it's also kind of like playing what you want to play versus like what you feel like people want to hear. It's like you
Yeah.
gotta write what you want to play.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and I'm a big fan of staying relevant, for like bands to make it. They kind of need to stay relevant because there's a lot of music that gets put out there, and so it's really easy to kind of get left, by the wayside just because you're not putting out anything new. And it's kind of funny that you talk about really just looking forward, because we did an interview with an instrumental band for Mentor a few episodes back, and they did a whole lot of just improvised songs. Actually, I think every song on their album was like an improvised song. They like sat in a room together and they just like improvised these songs and recorded them. And they were like, "Oh yeah, we're probably never going to play that song live, but we're going to keep writing more music and we're going to keep putting out more songs." And it was kind of the first time that I really stepped back, I guess, and looked at it and thought, you don't have to just play the same catalog all the time, and it's probably really good to be new and be refreshing. And then back to what I started with being relevant. So anyway, I can totally respect that, man, and I think it's not a bad thing at all to be looking forward always, and how you can just keep getting better and not looking backwards. I mean, we learn from the past, but right, it makes us better tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. And like also too, there was 13 years. You kind of go through like a couple of different members at one point. There's a couple of different drummers and bassists and guitar players. This guy's the OG. He ain't going nowhere. But I figured like, look, man, if I'm gonna be in this, we gotta just change it up and start fresh. And then we got real picky. We pretty much gutted the entire band. Like, I mean, we let people go. We found people that were like really committed and just kind of had the same views of what we wanted to do. And so we're pretty happy. And I think that's another reason why we want to just play the new stuff only and like not touch anything from the old catalogs. Like, it's still up there. You can listen to it. It's good stuff. But I think it's just time to move on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I kind of went back a little bit in the discography, and I listened to the album you guys have, Hopeless,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Dude, so I listened to that for a little bit, and then I went back to the EP, and I was like, this sounds like a totally different band.
Yeah.
I actually was gonna ask if that was like a mistake on Apple Music, or if that was you guys or what. Like, it's like it doesn't sound like the same band. You guys definitely evolved a lot over, and that was, I think that was 2018 or 2019, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was 19. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean
Yeah.
that's.
I mean, that's
I guess
I love that
I
album.
keep forgetting
Really
that
good.
it's 2025. I was going to say it's not that long ago, but I guess it is. So
Yeah.
time flies, man.
Well, COVID doesn't count. That whole, 3 years of no nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like we lost a lot of time there, even though we didn't really lose anything, but it does. Like, I just not feel like it was that long ago.
Yeah, for sure. Just to answer my question, his question, Greg's question. Um, Mine's like pretty simple, like Faith No More, anything with Mike Patton, and
Nice.
Deftones, of course, from California. Remembering Never, like the old Trustkill bands. You know what I mean? Like I don't know,
Hmm.
playing those bands were like saying a lot without trying to say a lot. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, like I don't know. I put a lot of like stock. It sucks because everybody hates Josh Trustkill, and they always like, or even Victory, but like those are like some of the best bands ever. Like you know what I mean? Thursday, they're still going. You know what I mean? But just I don't know, just bands
I
like
had an old Trust Kill DVD that was the shit. That was my jam. It had like Bleeding Through, I think, on it maybe, and like it was like a big dude's bald head and it said Trust Kill on his forehead.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
remember listening to that shit nonstop when I was like maybe in early college, late high school. It was a minute ago, probably like 2003 ish.
I would spend like every dollar I had going to like the local record store, like in high school, and just buying anything and everything like music DVD related, like, and
Hmm.
just fucking stocking my shit up.
Same. Hastings. That Hastings in Norman, man, changed my life when I got to college. That place was amazing.
So here's what I remember. I remember the CD warehouses that were,
Oh yeah.
there was like I think two of them in town, and it might have eventually only ended up being one later on because like slowly the CD stores started closing down. But you could go in there and they didn't put the CDs in the cases, and so you'd be sorting through just the jewel cases. But you could like take it up to them and be like, "Hey, I want to listen to this." And they had like CD players set up around, and they'd like hand the CD to you, and you could go put it in, and then so they'd like check it out to you, I guess, and you could actually sit there in the CD store and listen to these CDs, man, and that changed my world for sure because I could go listen to the album, and then if I still just wanted to buy it new, I could go to Hastings and buy it new if I wanted to do that or something, So that to me was like, I wish stores still did that. Everybody's all on the vinyl kick, which vinyl's cool. Vinyl's super, super cool. I love it. But something about digging through the CD stores, man, that was fun too.
for sure, man. A lot of those CDs are worth a lot now too. Like I know a lot of the Meshuggah stuff is all like $60 used. Like I buy a lot of shit off Mercari and like eBay, you know what I mean? And like all the you're talking about earlier, that band that did that one song, it reminded me of Meshuggah. Remember the I album where it's just one whole song and then they're like, yeah, we'll never play it again. Same shit. So, but yeah, like a lot of those records are like worth a lot of money now. So
Yeah, I think I saw on eBay once Impaled's Mondo Medical. Are you guys familiar with that?
I don't
So
know.
like you can't find it anywhere. It's not on any streaming platforms or nothing. But it was the first thing I ever heard by them, and I saw a hard copy of the CD on eBay, but it was like $50 or $60, and I was like, "Damn, I don't know if I want it that bad."
Yeah,
Like,
I've just got a burn copy of that one. I never had the original, but I know the artwork that you're talking about. I see it in my head. That's funny.
if you all right, so I used to be able to rip CDs back then. You just pop in the CD into your tower and just like burn a copy. Well, I found out that the Deftones self-titled album, if you put that in your like little computer tower, there's a fucking video on there. There's like I don't know if a lot of people know about it, but like you put it in and like you grab your mouse and you fucking click some windows and there's like it was studio footage of them recording the album.
That's cool. So Dream Theater did that with Train of Thought too.
Really?
There, yeah, if you put it in the computer, there's like video studio footage of them recording it and like talking and on there it's funny because they like in that one I think that's where they joke they're like don't tell anybody they wrote and recorded that whole album in 3 weeks like
Whoa.
wrote it and recorded it in three albums or in 3 weeks like but you only see that if you put the CD in your computer and find the video. It's crazy.
But yeah, you can't do that with like digital stuff anymore. You know.
No, everybody puts it all up on YouTube anyway, so you don't. I guess you don't need to find the secrets, right? There's no
I don't
secrets
think,
anymore.
honestly, I don't even think I've ever seen anything before. Like I've never came across like any of those clips. Like I'd have to go and like put it in my laptop and see if it works.
Oh shit!
Like honestly, I just don't think I've ever come across it.
That's pretty funny. I'll take it back just one little step further. As I was digging through the garage, and this kind of piggybacks on the new metal topic a little bit. You know, Deftones rocking some good old new metal, but I found a VHS copy of I think it was like Slipknot, and it's got like 3 videos. It is not. I think it's Slipknot. I know it's Slipknot. I think it has 3 videos on it, and it's 3 videos from their like first, not their first album, but the first album they put out with like Corey as the singer. And anyway, I was like, oh, I still have this, and then I found my Tool DVD or not DVD set, but VHS collection set, and I was like, man, I've got like a gold mine out here in the garage.
Yeah, that's great. I know you're talking about. I have that same Slipknot VHS, and I found my Nine Inch Nails Closure double VHS the other day, and I was just like, dude, this is a piece of history. You know, like,
That's hilarious. So many
saw the-
memories come back
Christ.
whenever you like find that stuff. You know, like
yeah. I found the Dead to the World Marilyn Manson VHS too, and I was like, oh, I bet I could sell that for probably at least $50.
There's so much stuff you can't get online either. Like I was like I'm cleaning out my storage unit like this week, and I just have a shit ton of DVDs. And like Darkest Hour has like the prison bars or is it party bars and prison bars something like that? I forgot. Anyways, it's like a DVD. Like you can't find that shit anywhere. Like you got to have the hard copy of it.
Yeah.
It's not on the Apple or anything. You know, there's
So
some find.
we're definitely showing telling our age here with talking about finding our VHSs and shit. And you guys mentioned being the old guys at the hardcore shows. How old are you guys?
Go ahead, dude.
I'm 40.
I'm 36.
Okay, all right, I'm 40. So
I'm 40.
yeah,
41.
yeah,
how it
Ziggy
goes.
wins.
Also, I have like 4 older brothers who just put me on to like anything and everything back then. I was like Pantera, Korn. You know, my oldest brother was into hip hop, so I had some of that too. But my 3 other brothers were on to like new metal. I guess,
Yeah, new metal. You know, shout out to new metal. So many people just from that we've talked to on the show. I mean, they all kind of took the new metal turn a little bit. You know, there are a few like really hardcore. I think whenever we interviewed Steve Casket, I think he was the only one that was like, no, I never listened to new metal. It was brutal death metal always. But everybody else, there was new metal kind of brought us into
It's
a lot of
gateway. Gateway into
Oh,
metal,
dude.
and like it's
I listen.
helps you go from listening to your more alternative rock kind of like Alice in Chainsy kind of stuff, like stuff you hear on the radio that you have easy access to like that new metal kind of bridges that gap, introduces you to a little more of the extreme side of it, and
Dude, Korn was awesome growing up. I
Yeah.
loved
So awesome.
POD and Korn and fucking, all of that, man. Come on.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
all about it.
And Jess, were you saying that you had older siblings as well?
I had 2 cousins.
Cousins.
One was like super death metal. We had a place called Cactus Club, and it was like right when it was closed. I went with them because
Well, that's just the evolution of things, right?
Yeah.
It's like you start somewhere, and then where we go. Well, we're all here right now in this moment, but I don't know. It's just funny. It's funny the journey, and everybody's is so different, but there's still like so many similarities too, and a lot of that's just the culture and the feel for the metal. Like whenever we're around each other, it doesn't matter if we're in California or Oklahoma, or down in Texas. We're there to listen to the show, and we're all the same, right then in that moment. And it's really cool how that works. Everybody's just like really excited to experience it all together, and that's what I love about it. And that's what it's cool too. Whenever you guys were talking earlier about going and supporting the younger guys, that you see with their bands in the local scene and everything like that. Because if we're not supporting each other in metal, this thing doesn't work. So it's cool. It's cool whenever we get to be the older ones that are kind of giving it back. And I see you guys are doing the exact same thing, just trying to still be involved, trying to still be relevant, and trying to also be there to influence the younger generation as well. Well, even if that's not like what you're not there to like make them do it a certain way or whatever, but just to be around.
Nothing worse than having half the crowd leave because they just came to see the one band and then they still got like 3 more to go. So you gotta go, man. You gotta go.
Yeah, so true. So true. You got to support the bands, man. Always.
Like, that's how it was back in the day. Like, we'd go to shows and, you'd go literally from the opener to the closer. You'd go outside, get your air, and fucking, swig that tall can you had behind the bushes.
Uh-huh.
What was your guys' first shows?
So for me, actually, this was 1997 or 98. It was 311 and Incubus.
Sick. That's cool.
Is who it was. And somebody was like, hey, you want to go to a concert? It was a kid that I was, I went to school with at the time. And he and I were decent friends. We lived in the same neighborhood, so a lot of times we hung out together after school. And I was like, yeah, sure, I've never been to a concert. And it was at the Lloyd Noble Center here in Norman. This is where they played basketball. Yeah, I guess the OU team plays basketball. And first concert, 311. And bummed a couple of cigarettes off some people while I was there. I was like 13 years old.
Man, I think it's not metal, but the first one I can think of going was in Oklahoma City. I went to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Foo Fighters together.
That's cool, man.
Dude,
back then, that's like a hell of a show, dude.
Yeah, that was cool. God, man, like metal, I'm trying to think of my earliest metal. I know I went to like that Pledge of Allegiance tour. I remember that with like Slipknot, Rammstein, Mudvayne,
System of a Down.
System of a Down.
Yeah.
And then around that same time, I think was Pantera and Soulfly with Morbid Angel and Nothing Face. And I'm trying to think of anything like other than just local stuff. Like I'm struggling, man. I don't remember. It's been too long.
Cool, man. That's pretty awesome. You got to see Dimebag. That's badass. So.
Twice actually.
Yeah.
It was yeah. That's up there on my list of like accomplishments. I could die happy.
Yeah, actually, whenever I'm talking about Pantera to people today, and I talk about, like seeing them back in 2002, 2001, 2002, I think it was around the time we saw them. And like Brandon said, we got to see him twice, once in OKC, and then once we got to see him down in Texas. I think it was Arlington. Yeah, it was in Arlington, and it was with Slayer. And so, it was like Pantera, Slayer, at this show. And Morbid Angel just opened for... Morbid Angel was at both of those shows, and so I just figured wherever Pantera went, Morbid Angel went,
Yeah. And Static X was on that Texas one, too. That was sick.
Yeah, that was cool. That was real cool.
There was that band Scrape too. I think I bought their CD. I bought their CD at Tower Records because I'm like, oh, if they're on this lineup, they must be awesome. You know what I mean? And I never heard them. That's the fucking worst money I've ever spent in my life. They're so horrible, dude.
I just remember their image on the CD cover of like the fingernail missing.
Yeah, it was like all.
Like I remember that about that band. I don't remember anything else about them.
They're fucking horrible. They're a terrible band, and they ended up being like a studio band. I think the went on to like do like Crazy Town or some shit like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I never got to see Dime in Pantera, but I saw him in Damage Plan like a month before he got killed.
Yeah.
It was fucking horrible. I saw him in Dallas, and then like he went up that tour to the Northeast. That's when he got shot. That was mind-boggling.
Wow. That's still pretty cool.
Show, I'll give you my first show. It's kind of it's ridiculous answer to the question, to be honest. I somehow got into KMFDM when I was like in fifth and sixth grade, and I got my dad to take me to KMFDM on and actually Rammstein's first American tour, and they were opening for KMFDM, and they played a pretty small venue, Kane's Ballroom in downtown Tulsa, and like the lead, I was 12 years old, and the lead singer in Rammstein comes out with like completely engulfed in flames, damn near about burning the whole place down, with all these lasers and shit, and I was just blown away. And my dad, I don't know. I have a pretty vulgar story, Zumi. Should I say it or not? About what Rammstein did
please.
tonight?
Oh yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. Well, long story short, no, it's a good one. So my dad is like a hard ass, not listening to metal like Grateful Dead, but he's like a hard ass, likes football and oil, and that's it. And so he takes me and my two buddies, and Rammstein comes out and he's on fire, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" And he's just freaking out already. And it's fucking insane. It's like 1996 goths everywhere, it's the real deal. And then my dad's down on like in this chair with his ears plugged in like this, and thank God he was, because Rammstein lead singer Till pulls out like a foot long cock, just dildo, and I'm thinking it's his real dick. I'm like 12 years old, like, oh my God. And then jizz just starts coming out like a rain of cum, like all over the whole crowd for like the whole fucking 5-minute song. And my dad had his head in between his knees that entire 5 minutes. And I'll just never forget being 12, like looking at him and looking up and looking at him and looking up, and his dick just flopping all around. And anyways, so they played the whole set, and then we got like 4 or 5 songs into KMFDM, and he was just like, "We're getting the fuck out of here," because it was like the weirdest, 1996 goths possible on the planet. And then like a month after that, Braxton's mom drove us to the Misfits in Oklahoma City, and after that, it was like a wrap.
That's cool, man.
Those dudes
H2O,
they didn't pull that over at Sick New World, dude. They had a set. They didn't do any of that.
Oh, dude, it was insane. It was so crazy, dude. Yeah,
it was crazy to see how people were actually
yeah.
wearing that shirt, like KMFDM. I was like, I know who they are, but I don't. I was like straight like goth style. I was like, yeah, that's cool, man. But dude, huge crowd.
My buddy got me into it, and I really didn't even like it. I just like thought it was cool. Like I would listen. I liked like 2 songs on the album, and then of course like 6 months later, it's the same fucking album and T-shirt the Columbine kids are wearing, and my dad just flips the fuck out, and he knew what it was. He recognized it. It was on every flyer for the show. I had it in my room on my wall, and he came in and ripped it off, and then ripped off my Kurt Cobain poster, and it was a whole thing, But anyways, growing up as a wannabe metalhead was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's great. That's great, man. Thanks. Nobody's ever like asked us our first shows. That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I'm curious. What about you?
It had to have been like either Ozfest or like metal. Yeah, it was definitely an Ozfest for sure. I think it was like 2002 was my first one. I think I still have the ticket stub.
Was it the Linkin Park one?
I think that was the Linkin Park one. That's the only time I saw them.
I think Manson.
And we must have gone there a little late because I didn't see a lot of the second stage guys.
I saw that Ozfest as well that year.
But 03 was like one that was memorable for sure. And like
03 was amazing.
Yeah. But I think that was mine. And then like I would go to random like I think there was a show like a tour called like the Sprite Liquid Mix Tour, and it was like Jay-Z's like festival, and it happened here at the Shoreline, which was like an outdoor amphitheater. But like Nonpoint was on that show, and that was like my first time going into a mosh pit.
Cool.
It was like super weird because like I had just got into like new metal. I was like, who the hell are these guys? Like this dude with this huge ass dreads, but it's good stuff.
It's awesome. We were pretty lucky around here. Like our radio stations would hold these big festivals called Edge Fest, and like they'd bring in like Bush and like just like the big bands at the time. Like Slipknot played right when their first album came out, and I remember like my dad dropping us off to that, and us running up there and hearing the double bass kick in and shit. And that's been like that really did change me a little bit to go a little bit more extreme. Like once I saw that set that day, it like blew my mind. But man. It's just something like you said about being a kid. So that's good that you guys go and support the shows and support the locals. I mean, it's all about just living in the moment for real, and like it makes you appreciate those small shows, like you guys were saying earlier, for sure.
Yeah, like you see all the kids that like to go to the shows, right? And then the bands just are popping up like crazy. Like every other month, there's like first show for this band, and kids are coming out in droves. Like it's cool, man. They're all just picking up like. Even if like I'm not trying to talk shit, but if they're not the best at their instruments, like they're still going out there and like going hard. It's pretty cool.
I'm seeing on TikTok a shitload of stuff out in the Bay, like small shows, like you guys are saying, like popping off and kids wild, like going wild.
I mean, there was
I'm seeing
that
it
big
like
show
a
during
lot.
COVID. That was it, the Zababa show that happened during COVID, where there was like at least like 1,000 kids there, and it happened in the fucking parking lot. You were there, right?
Yeah, I've,
Yeah, I went.
I'm sure I've seen clips of it.
Yeah, it's like a famous like fucking like clips of that shit. Like there's like aerial shots of like obviously you're not supposed to be there. It was during COVID time and fucking there's just like 1,000 kids. It would have seemed like 1,000 kids and yeah, it was.
Yeah, it looked like Ozfest. It looked insane. It looked pretty nuts, but yeah.
That's badass.
Way to go, kids! Y'all making us proud. Keep it up.
Fucking
Keep
breaking
it
the
up.
rules. I love it.
Yeah, breaking the rules, getting in trouble, you know, and making some metal moments. That's what I call them. Hashtag
I was
metal
I was
moments.
too scared to go to that show. I was like, you know, I'm gonna stay home.
Really?
And go. I went to your show, so I actually went to go see him that same night because he played like a bar down the street from my house. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go see the boys real quick. This guy shows up all late.
Yeah, I was late because I went to that show.
The
The
bar
show was
full
way
of merch.
better.
I got a question. We've been talking about shows this whole time. What's up with your guys' band and playing shows? Do you guys are you guys actively playing shows, or are you guys touring at all, or
We just
you
got
done much
back.
touring?
We just got back from doing like a run, like a 3-day run with our friends in Dolores and Gooseneck, and we just did like a SoCal run. It was like December.
Yeah, it was like 4 shows.
Yeah, it was like 3 shows.
Oh, okay.
3 shows in December, and we got a 4-day run coming up in June with our friends in Choking Game. We're gonna go up north to like Northern California, like the woods, like Eugene.
Yeah, yeah.
We're actually going to Oregon too, so we're gonna go Eugene, Santa Rosa, Eureka, and then we're gonna slide down to Reno.
Awesome.
But
Yeah.
we're trying to sneak in like long runs in between like the writing of the album. Like we're almost done with the album too. We're probably about one more full song, and then we'll hit the studio. So hopefully in the next month we'll be kind of ready to tap in.
So
Cool.
how
So, yeah,
many
you guys
how
are
many
pretty
songs
active.
will be on the new album?
It's gonna be I think like a 9-song album with 1 instrumental. So really like 8 songs.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're
All
trying
right.
to now, but it's we're being real picky.
Good for you. That's good. Got to put out what you want. Make sure you like it. I like it.
Did you say the woods whenever you were talking about doing this run that was coming up?
Yeah, like Northern California is like mountains, man. It's like
Yeah, but
Yeah.
where are you going to stay, man? You're an inside guy.
I'm gonna stay inside the hotel.
Hey, Eureka does have quite a bit of concrete around it. Like, if you go
Yeah,
10
it's-
miles north up to Arcata, that's where like it gets real hippie-ish and redwoodish. But Eureka, you can get by in Eureka.
Yeah, it's not. It's like a mini Santa Cruz with a little more meth.
Yeah, dude,
fuck?
it's tweaking.
we played there last 2 years ago. It was like I think it was
Yeah, it was about 2 years
yeah,
ago.
2 years ago we played Eureka, and it was like there was a lot going on. I was like, yo, there's a lot of shit going on. I guess it was also grow season because it's Humboldt County.
Yep, dude, it's a trip.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. There's like
Eureka's awesome, man. The
was a-
guitarist who made Acacia Strain went
Oh, yeah.
home from a tour, and he was there, like in a fucking dive bar.
yeah, Devin lives
Oh,
in
yeah.
he lives like 10 miles south of Eureka, and him and his wife popped up, and I was like, I gotta go say to my guy because he's like one of my favorite guitar players of all time. Super humble dude.
Hell yeah.
Guy, yeah. Stayed in the SAR
Is that
set.
the, is that the big dude?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, he's killer, dude. He's a
He's
badass
Look
guitarist.
around. Like so he was there for every band, like from opener to closer. It was awesome.
That was cool.
That's super sick to hear.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
But yeah, then we're going to Eugene. I've never been to Eugene. Then Reno. Been doing a lot of shows in Reno. They're awesome. It's a real punk town.
Yeah, I've seen some wild stuff from. I've never been to a show in Reno, but I've seen a lot of footage of wild stuff in Reno.
It pops off.
So are all the members of Infinite Sleep like local? Are you guys all together in the same?
Yeah,
band?
we're
You
all-
guys get
we're
to
all
jam
here.
like in person.
Yeah, so like our drummer Joseph, he lives in like a town like an hour away, right? So, but the way we kind of write is like me and Mark will kind of be in the room and we'll, just program some random drum pattern and then start writing to it, and then we'll try our best to like put in fills or whatever, and then we'll shoot them off to Joseph because he's also like in a couple other bands. He's like a high demand drummer, and I don't know how the hell we got him, but We just send them off like whatever we got, and then we'll come and jam them out once they're pretty much done, and he'll put his flair onto it, and then we'll practice. But usually it's kind of just me and Mark in the studio, like writing, and then Jesse comes in and does.
Have you guys heard of Wrath? That was his band. They were on Unique Leader.
Wrath of Vesuvius.
No, they were just Wrath.
Did he change it to?
I think that sounds
Like
familiar.
WRATH?
It's like the A is like a V.
Yeah, like a V.
They like flipped it and shit. I don't know. But
I have heard that because
feel
I
like I
remember.
have.
I remember wondering how you pronounced it at first, being like, "Ruff," and then somebody's like, "Wrath," and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's easy."
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. So that dude, like, we hit him up, and he was down for the new stuff. Like, dude, I don't know how we got you, but thank you. Like, you're fucking one of the best drummers I've ever played with.
Yeah, he's awesome. His band is fucking awesome. I still listen to their records. They're sick. His older stuff was Wrath of Vesuvius. I think they were on.
I remember that band.
Yeah, they were on Media Scare. It's the same band, like I said.
They changed their name. That's all.
Yeah, and then when they changed it, they cut it to when they went on Unique Leader. But yeah, man, we try to when we did this stuff, like he dug the song so much, he tried to send it to them, but his contact, I guess, was the guy that passed away with Unique Leader. So he was like, "Oh, they never responded."
Eric.
No. So I was like, "Oh, that sucks."
Yeah.
But that would have been cool. Whatever. But we got Silent Pendulum, so that's where we're at now.
That's the label now. You're on.
Yeah, that's what we're on now. They got like
Heavy Lolo. They have Glass Casket. They're releasing stuff for Arsonist Get All the Girls.
we got Cyborg Octopus.
Cyborg Octopus.
Yeah.
No
Nice.
Suffer from Texas. I think they're from Houston. No.
They're from Texas. They're badass. They're sick. Man.
Which band?
No Suffer.
That sounds familiar. I don't know if I've checked them out.
They're putting in the work out there. Yeah,
They're sick.
leaders.
They're
And then
badass.
Aberrants from Chico, California.
They're pretty cool.
Boys.
Yeah. Those guys are rippers, dude. Those guys are sick. But yeah, there's a bunch of good bands on
Sounds
there.
like a good lineup. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
stack label, man. We're happy with it. Yeah, we're excited to.
Try not to shit the bed with our full length, so we'll see what happens.
So this will be your first release on that label.
It'll be the first album. Yeah, we have the EP through them. Like, so we were gonna release the EP like just on our own, and we ended up releasing like the first music video, and then I don't even know how we shopped it around. Like we were talking to
Dave, the vice president. I'm sorry, Vice President Dave. He's pretty much our contact.
You sent it off to them, right? And then we sent it out to the guys over at Upstate New York as well too, and it was between them two. And we're like, I think we want to go with like Silent Pendulum, man. I think that lineup suits us a little more. But they were both cool, man. We're just excited that anybody wanted to release it in general. Like I've been part of a couple different bands, and this was like first like real like label that would actually put stuff out, not like the homies doing it from out of the garage.
Upstate's sick too, though.
Yeah,
I like Upstate. Yeah. Like that was like another one. They're like a New York label.
They're both from New York.
Yeah, they're both from New York. But you guys remember Earth Crisis?
Oh yeah.
Like he has his other band Freya. They're on Upstate. So that was the only thing that stuck because I wanted to try to get a feature from Carl. I was like, "What's up, man?" But like apparently you got to be like super hardcore, like straight edge vegan and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm fucking fat and eat hamburgers, so never mind. No one's
Hardcore
gonna.
standards. For
Yeah, exactly. No one. Yeah, no one's singing on our shit. So.
Yeah, I forgot they were hardcore straight edge.
Yeah.
Prices big.
He's awesome. That would have been like legendary though, but
Yeah, no, for sure.
it would have been cool.
Do you have a expected? Like, do you think the album will come out in 2025 or will probably 2026?
It's probably going to end up coming out like the tail end of 2025 at this point, only because they wanted us to have it ready by the end of February.
Cool. Well, if it's at the end of the year, then you'd be fresh on everybody's minds for those top album of the year lists.
We're trying to squeeze in a couple singles in between there too, just to make it a little more, keep it up there. But we don't know yet. We're trying to see what we can crank out and what we can squeeze out.
Plus, they're still trying to like figure out features too, because they're gonna be doing features on it. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know. I always find it like more rewarding when you're just like, I did this with this person. You know what I mean? Not even like as a name dropper, but just like having a different instrument, something that I can't do. You know what I mean? So I just
Yeah.
still working on that too. So
We got a couple good ones coming.
yeah, should be cool.
So once you guys have the album out, do you expect maybe a like full tour or anything like of the at least the country, or do you think you guys will stick to like regional stuff?
So with Infinite, we've done half the U.S. twice, like on our own. We just bought a van and just, you know what I mean, with the older members. And then, I mean, that would be nice, you know what I mean? Like you think, which I never knew, because everyone always wants to like get quote unquote signed. You know what I mean? You think they're gonna like hook you up with a booking agent and shit, and they don't. You know what I mean? And then some booking agents don't hit you up. You know what I mean? Like I must have like emailed Forthright like 30 times from brand new emails. You know what I mean? Like, all right, it'll work this time. You know what I mean? Whatever, but whatever. Like I said, so I don't know. Like it would be nice. Like I think like if the opportunity was there, if somebody want to take us, of course. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't think us trying to, you know what I mean, whatever, make it huge in Florida or New York by ourselves without like support from there would make much sense. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
there's so many bands, so many. I don't know. There's just so much shit out there where it's like, all right, well, why do you matter? But you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be cynical either. I'm just saying, like, hey, man, we're from California, and obviously it's going to be on our own dime. So, you know what I mean? Like, I would want to go with, like, you know what I mean? Whatever, like, East Coast run with a band from there. You know what I mean? Or, like, No Suffer, we're supposed to hit them up when we're ready to do Texas. And those dudes, you know what I mean? Those dudes are awesome.
Yeah, that makes
Something
total
we're
sense.
hoping to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping to do Texas at some point of this year. That'd be like the farthest we go. But like I don't know, like if you guys like see like flyers for all these huge tours, like I had like 50 fucking bands on them. Like everyone does like, oh, we're only doing like we're gonna do like in 4 days for this one, and then like another band jumps on the bill, and like another band jumps on this bill. Like not everyone does like full U.S. tours anymore as far as like smaller bands. So I don't think they do.
I mean, we
Yeah,
would.
I
We
would
would if somebody would took us,
yeah,
but yeah.
it's also like no one's gonna pay my bills here.
Well,
California.
get once that album's out, who knows, man? You might have everybody banging down your door.
Hopefully,
Put a couple
that'd be
shekels in my
cool.
pocket, that'd be
That'd be
awesome.
sick.
But no, it'd be cool if we could fly out to the East Coast and like do like a week run. That'd be awesome too. But we just gotta find like logistical ways of doing it. But no, it's definitely sticking to the West Coast. I think, or just these couple states that we got around us because California is fucking massive. There's a lot of empty states too, but yeah, we'll try to do mostly West Coast stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So you talk about the logistics. Are you guys, if something comes up, are you guys able to kind of just drop what you're doing? You got flexible enough schedules where you can plan out a little bit of time, or is it something, I don't know, because you got more than just you two. You got multiple people in the band, and the coordination of multiple people can be difficult. Like how does that work for you guys when these shows pop up?
So like the last couple of runs we've done, we've never actually even gone out as a full band. I mean, just the way things are now these days, like you can do like a full band with a quad cortex, pretty much, So we have friends that like fill in for us. He just knows everyone and anyone because he's been around for so long. He knows everybody. So we got people that would help us out, like drums, bass, guitar, whatever, or we'll piece it together. And everything for the most part on our records are like doable with one guitar player, including like a backing track for the most part. But yeah, it's kind of we just try to do like full band as much as possible. But sometimes it's just not doable, so we got to find friends that'll help us out. But we try not to turn down any kind of like show or run like this one we're gonna do in June. Like we're piecing it together. Like we'll be out there.
I just want to say I hate backing tracks. Like, I get it. I understand. But it's like, man, there's nothing like, cool, I want to see if this guy can really play that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just me. Like, I hate when you see, like, somebody doing crazy, like, arpeggio sweeps, and then it's, like, fucking one guy hitting a freaking open chord headbanging. You know what I mean? Like that's just me personally. I hate that shit. But
No, I get it. I
Sorry,
get it.
man, I'm the rhythm guy here. So
no, I
yeah,
get it. I'm
do
just
the
saying.
Middle East here.
No, it's fine.
So-
I mean, we
You
all
know,
have
I've
that,
noticed
but I'm just
drummers are in high demand lately. People talk about that a lot, right? Like, just drummers are always busy and needed for every band, but nobody talks about it. But it feels like bass players are also in high demand because I can't tell you how many shows I've gone to, and there's no bass player. Like it's backing track.
Computer.
So, do you
Yeah.
guys have a bass player?
We did, and
did?
we did.
Yeah.
So he's our homie. It didn't work out, but you know, bass players are hard to come by. I don't know why.
Well, with bass players, it cracks me up because I'm like, we just get a guy to stand up there with the bass. He doesn't even have to know how to play it.
Well, we had that too, and that's the problem.
Zumi's theory busted.
Sorry, I love you, Mike, but you know, people notice that kind of stuff, man. It's
Jesus.
whatever, dude. It's a podcast. Like the stage presence is a huge thing. Like we need like the energy, man. Like that's some of the biggest things of a show is like the energy. If the energy isn't there,
I can't.
but yeah, energy's a thing we need. It's a big part of your live shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can always pick up any guy there and play whatever notes, but you know, it doesn't really help. You need someone that's gonna go balls to the wall.
So you could just strap a bass to Jess there while he's doing vocals. He could that could work.
We could definitely try that. It'd be fun.
Eye candy, bro.
He's like, I don't want that image. I don't want the image of a bass player. Don't put that on me. Sorry, Zimmy.
The bass player is, you know, he's the one who keeps everybody together. He's like the mom or the dad, you know, of the group. He's the one that's like, hey guys, come on, like let's just work on the song and not get all mad at each other. He's the one who is like
Voice of reason.
he's the one who goes up to the drummer usually and he's like, hey, I already got my bass rig in. You want me to grab a couple of stands or a couple of drums? He's the one who's going and doing that, while the vocalist is running around like with his one microphone, like check, like walking back and forth, and everybody's carrying in all this heavy equipment, and it's like we heard you say check every time, and then he's like, hey, you guys need any help?
That's always the meme, but I always help.
Oh,
because that is the meme. I know that's the meme of the internet right there.
No, for sure, dude.
Somebody carries his mic. But I was like, damn it, I never participated in that meme. I should have done nothing the whole time.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, the bassist, he's your friend out there, everybody. Your bassist is your friend. If you're the vocalist, the bassist is your friend. If you're the drummer, the bassist is obviously your friend. The guitarist, the bassist is your friend.
I used to be the big party bassist. That was my gig at my last band. So it was a party dude. Walk in with like 4 or 5 beers by the neck, just take them to the stage.
I think I'm going to print some stickers or something. We're just going to be hug a bassist today.
There you go.
Yeah, I made a shirt one time and it just says I play bass, but it didn't really take off. I thought people would be like, that's a cool shirt, but yeah.
Everyone just thought you played with fish.
Yeah, they were like he must be an he's an angler. He must be an angler.
I play bass.
Hey guys, this is really random, but I've actually got a couple just quick questions that I wanted to ask. They're not metal related. They're just kind of like, I don't know, some random questions that I just jot down sometimes as I'm thinking throughout the week. And I try to make them a little bit different from episode to episode, but generally it has to do with where you're from or what you like and those kind of things. So who wants to go first? They're the same questions.
I do want to know where their laundry is, Zumi.
Oh, you do? Are we doing that?
No, we don't have to do that. I'm just kidding.
Mine's still in the same spot.
We got a new load in that spot.
Yeah, just replaced the one last time. But okay, who's going first? Chris, Jess?
Jesse.
Okay.
All right. Baseball or football?
Baseball.
Beer or wine?
I really don't drink, but I'll do like mixed drinks.
Oh, okay. Beer, wine, or whiskey?
Whiskey.
I just knew what Santa Cruz, right? You guys are known for your wine there too. Isn't that an area that's big on wine?
I think Napa.
Napa.
It might so wrong area.
All the douches.
Napa's
live over
Northern
there.
California. It's like 3 hours away, 2 hours away.
Okay,
It's all like rich people.
Yeah.
Rich people shit.
rich people. All right. So, is there a wooden roller coaster on the boardwalk?
Yep. The Big Dipper.
Yeah.
The Big Dipper.
So, should we ride it?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's pretty good.
All right. Well,
Classic,
you
man.
guys answered the last one together. Actually, I didn't even think about that. But all right, Chris, what do you got? Baseball or football?
Football,
Football. All right, beer, wine, or whiskey?
sparkling water.
Sparkling water. Hey, you know what? I
Name.
don't drink either. So I mean,
Tell me you're from California without telling me you're from California.
Listen, man, I partied hard for a long time. I've had the fucking most funny stories of me playing drunk and shit on stage, and the most embarrassing ones. But I like playing stuff, man. But
What does sparkling water have to do with any of that
It's what he prefers now. I get it. I know what it means. I get it.
hey, you know what's
With
funny?
it.
Up at work, some people started, like buying sparkling waters, and I was never really into like even trying it. I guess I was just kind of like, I'll just drink regular water. It's cool, and it's worked fine for thousands and thousands of years, but I'll find myself grabbing a can of this sparkling water every now and then at work, just for a little bubbly, I guess. I don't know.
I'll choose beer. I was huge into like IPAs, doubles, triples, stouts. I was into the heavy. So, and we have
Yeah.
some of the best out here in California too. So,
Man, I was a big fan of Guinness, so I know what you mean about the heavy beers. And when you get into the IPAs, we could probably get lost talking about some good IPAs.
I was able. There was a
Yeah, I
bar
was
in
quite a
San
fan.
Jose. There's a bar that's not out there anymore, but they had like a challenge where you could slam a beer under 5 seconds. You could have it for $1. And my trick was, alright, dude, I could do this. Let me get a Guinness. Like, why do you want to have a beer? Like, dude, there's no carbonation. You just fucking slam it like water. So I would slam like a bunch of Guinnesses for $1.
Nice.
And fast.
There you go.
And you drink them fast.
If you don't drink them fast enough, you're gonna have to pay full price, and you just slam the beer for fucking no reason.
I know, and then you feel better sooner.
Yeah.
Yep.
And each one goes down a little quicker and tastes a little bit better.
That's right. They all come up back. They all come back out at the same pace, though.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. All right. Well, hey, I got one more just random one because it just popped in my head. This has to do with the weather because right now in Oklahoma, we have like this crazy snow ice storm. You guys can't see it, but out that window right there, it's like freezing cold. I think I looked and it was like 10 degrees earlier, and they're talking about the temperatures are just 7 degrees right now according to my PC, and they say it's just gonna keep going down, and the wind chills are supposed to be in the negative. So let me ask you fellas, and just either of you, first, it doesn't matter, rain or sunshine?
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
We
All
had
right.
temperatures like drop to like 38, and I work at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and my fucking fingertips are frozen, dude. I can't do the cold.
You're like, if I can see my breath, no deal.
Fucking not. It's not. I'm not having it, man. Like I don't want to get wet
You
and
would-
work in the fucking rain. That shit
You would
sucks.
hate it here right now. Oh my god, it's like literally like it's 5 degrees outside. It feels like negative 15 tonight. It's not good.
It doesn't rain that much in the Bay Area. It's weird, man. Like we get rain, but it ain't like crazy rain.
People give me shit because here in Houston, I'm like, it'll get cold. It'll get in like the 30s, 20s sometimes, but I'm like, man, I will take our 110 degree humid as shit summer over 20 something degree, 30 degrees outside any day. Like being cold hurts.
Wasn't there like a snowstorm in Texas recently, like where Austin like almost fucking lost all its like its power grid or something like that, or was that all of Texas?
Oh god, yeah, that was like all of Texas. That was
2 years
that
ago, it
was
was
in
all
21.
Texas.
Yep, that was
A lot of
crazy.
people died.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Shit. You're bringing that up, dude.
Sorry, man.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you know, like, you don't think Texas is gonna get snow, but it does. You know, it's just weird.
Yeah. No, we've got snow this year, even down all the way here in Houston. It was crazy.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Of course.
Go for
What
it.
are the top 2 newest bands like you guys have been jamming out to?
Ooh.
Or just one?
You know, I don't know how new they actually are, but they are seriously new to me, and it's the Halo Effect. And the Halo Effect, they came out with a new album this year, and Brandon, you're going to have to back me up with some of these facts. But they're, I think it's like 2 of the original guys from In Flames that are in this band.
3. I think it's 3. The only one it's it's some of the original dudes from In Flames, and then the original vocalist from Dark Tranquility.
And these guys just popped up on my radar, and now my I use YouTube Music, and so my YouTube Music will just, after I get done with stuff, it'll shuffle to the Halo Effect a lot, and I find it to be super catchy. I find the vocals to be like awesome metal vocals, but his cleans are also like worthy on their own. Like he could just be a non-metal vocalist if he wanted to be. He's got good cleans, and the melody throughout is pretty amazing. So for me, that's you said 2, but that's one that just immediately comes to mind that I've been listening a lot to lately.
Sick.
I listen to a lot of music during the week. It's hard to pick, but just this year alone, there's a band called Admire the Grim. They put out an album just a couple weeks ago. It's a buddy of ours, Justin Corbett, from another podcast called Harsh Vocals. I saw him at Septic Flesh last Monday, and he had a good descriptor for it. He called them the grandchildren of Bodom, because they've got like a heavy Children of Bodom vibe to them. Like, but it's really like, I think they're even from Finland, but it's like some shreddy, thrashy death metal kind of stuff. It sounds a lot like Children of Bodom. It's really cool. It was kind of a refreshing listen. And then another album that just came out a few weeks ago. I'm trying to remember what the album is called, but the band is called The Grand Devourer. And I've been kind of getting all school kid like giddy over it the last few days. It's pretty good. And it's not a crazy album title, and I'm ashamed that I can't. Yeah, Traversing the Void is what it's called. But I've been digging the shit out of that. It's kind of some blackened death metal, a little bit of grindy kind of sound to it. It's pretty cool.
Late to the game on this band, but Boundaries. I kind of discovered them recently, and I love that new album they put out. And I've like on Spotify, just put in the This Is Boundaries playlist, and like listening to all their old bangers. Like that band fucking slaps. And I definitely was late to the game on them, and I missed them coming through Oklahoma, and the show looked sick as hell. Their tour they did recently was really cool, and I got to see that band live.
We saw them from that tour, like in Berkeley. It was my favorite show of the whole year. Like that was the best.
Dude.
So they're like the energy of that band is fucking insane, dude. Like
the live clips look insane. I got to see them.
It's not like that's how it is for all the shows. Like everyone was going.
Yeah, they sold out this venue 89th Street, and it looked just off the chain for a good Oklahoma City show. So next time they come through, I'm gonna get my ticket like immediately because I know it's been blowing up lately.
I think they just jumped on a tour where like it was like a fucking not a stadium, but like a huge like arena tour. I forgot who they're playing with.
Oh yeah, I saw that they're playing with a big band. Who was it? Like
I can't remember.
or some shit, or I can't remember who exactly.
Yeah, but the clips from those like, dude, this is a fucking whole like arena. This is like a fucking basketball arena. Like,
yeah, they're like going to the next level.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Like it's to me they're like knocked loose, but more melodic. I would say.
Yeah.
Like, there's more feel to the music. And like Knock Loose is amazing too, but like it's just like I don't know. There's more heart to me into Boundaries.
No, I agree.
There's for me there's a band called Teeth. They're from I think British Columbia, Canada.
Yeah, I heard of
And
him.
dude, their fucking EP they released like in 2023. Like they did a bunch of singles before that, right? It was like I think they released like 3 singles throughout like the year, but they dropped like a 4 song EP, and it's like the biblical worship. Dude, that fucking thing is like chaotic and the most punishing like breakdowns without like double bass going. Like it's single kick, fucking triplet guitar breakdown. It's the weirdest shit, but it's so heavy.
They put out an album last year, right? Like
It was EP, yeah, yeah.
Well, no, I think they put out like a full. If it's the same band, Teeth, like is it called The Will of Hate?
No, it's called the Biblical Worship is the name of the EP.
Okay.
I think there's 2 bands called Teeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We might be looking at different bands then. I was gonna say I was familiar with this Teeth, death metal, black metal Teeth.
No, they're like thrashy, like hardcore, like fucking just pun it. I don't know, man. It's the vocals are just like screeching, piercing, and it's so heavy, dude. Like, and the guitars are just fucking. They layer it with like I think like a swollen pickle thing, like the fuzz, and it just it's insane. It's the drums like are simple, but it's simple drums to like insane guitar parts that are the caveman like beat down stuff. It's different. It's not regular hardcore. It's nothing like it. It's just it's weird. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. You got to listen to it yourself.
Okay.
But
Yeah, we
They're
might have to check that
on
out.
Nuclear Blast.
yeah, they're on the.
Like they're a big band.
Yeah, they don't
Okay.
tour. Like they do mostly like Canada stuff, and I think they just came. They did like a small run with Darkest Hour, and they did like 4 or 5 dates on the East Coast. But I just talked to the guitar player at NAMM, Chris, and I guess they got visas to do like a full U.S. tour. I don't want to say who they're coming with, but it's gonna be pretty cool.
And you said the EP was
Oh, yeah.
a biblical worship.
Yep, that one. And then they have like a bunch of singles before that are fucking awesome. And it's like it was like 3 minutes. Like those songs are like quick and fast. It kind of has like a Nails like feel because like how their songs are short, but you get all the ass beater into that song. No filler.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. We'll check that out. Thank you.
What about you, Doc?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What about you, Jess?
I don't know.
Man, this is your question.
No, I know. Well, I was asking them. We're having a conversation.
We'll go full circle here, buddy.
No, I know. Yeah, I don't. Come back to me. I don't know.
Come back. There's no left.
Well, hey, yeah, you know
I was
what?
asking you guys.
We totally can though. We can come back because what we can do is we can real quick and we can play a song from you guys.
Cool.
Yeah, my third favorite new band.
Yeah, you didn't ask for your top
that's
3,
weird.
man. You should ask for top 3. So, no, seriously though, we're really excited. Talking with the guys here, they thought that the song "Martyrs," which "Martyrs" is actually the title of their most recent EP that they released. So this is kind of the title track to their EP, or that's what I'm calling it at least. And hope you guys enjoy. So here's Infinite Sleep, "Martyrs."
Watch it away.
All right, everybody, great song. Thanks for sticking around and checking it out. You know, they've got a lot more to offer. Check these guys out.
And I'm sure everyone is on the edge of their seats right now, just wanting to know, Jess, who's your favorite new band right now?
They're not that new, but they're from San Jose. There's a band called Eightfold Path. We went to go watch them like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Or like a month ago.
They're pretty sick, man. Like they have some really catchy breakdowns and some really, really cool stuff. They're pretty sick. It was them.
Sweet.
And what was the name of the band again? Say it.
Eightfold Path. Eightfold Path.
Eightfold Path.
Yeah.
All right, checking that
Yeah.
one too.
They're pretty sick. And then there's another band called Condition One. I think the guitarist Tsunami's in that band. But their vocals are sick. The dude has like highs and lows. He's all over the place. He's pretty sick. But yeah. Like I said, we'll just go watch these bands. You know what I mean? We're not like, you know what I mean? We don't know them. You know what I mean? Or I don't know them at least. So it's just, but you know what I mean? They're pretty sick bands. There's like a lot of really cool. I don't say like violent. I'm not gonna say violent. Just really aggressive music coming out.
It's
from
beat
the
down,
area.
man. It's all beat down here. You want a trash can in your face, you gotta go to San Jose show.
There's this band, buddies in LA. They're from Inland Empire. They're called Knuckle Sandwich. Dude, there's a funny video out right now. Me and this guy went to the show. It was like what, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we were down for NAMM in LA, and
We went to go watch our buddy's band.
yeah,
Right?
he's like, hey, let's go see Knuckle Sandwich. They're gonna be up the road. We're like, all right, cool. We left Disneyland and
Yeah.
we shoot up to, I think they're in Pomona, and it was one of the most violent shows I've ever seen, like in like my life.
Ever, dude. Like I
Like-
walked up and I felt bad for this little kid.
We
Like,
never even made it inside the building because
it was
people
like little. He was like 18 or something. His fucking nose was split in half. And then after, I'm just like, dude, are you okay? Yeah. Give him 5 minutes. He's in there again. He's fucking two-stepping. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like,
and then you guys ass beat a second time.
yeah, and then a second time, and that's when he had to go home, and I just felt bad. I was like, fuck, dude, this is just like insane. But imagine, like I said, your nose would split in half, and then
It looked like a zigzag, dude.
yeah, it looked crazy.
It was wild. But like, you know, like beatdown is huge in California, and yeah, like some of the funniest shit comes out of these fools' mouths. Like I think the singer was all like, "Beat up all these fucking old heads" or something like that. I forgot what he said, but it was pretty hilarious. I was like, dude, I'm gonna stay outside. I'm playing with the oldest guys here.
Yeah, leave me alone.
That was our friend that invited us to the show, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, cool, thanks,
Like, cool,
man.
I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
But yeah, they're pretty sick. We played with them
And
in LA, I think. Like
yeah, the last run.
Yeah, the last run. They're pretty cool dudes. It's pretty cool.
They're doing big shows for like, it's crazy, man. Like, yeah. I think it's with Texas. There was like a festival. I think that just happened there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're coming up too. They're pretty sick. So those are mine: Eightfold Path, Knuckle Sandwich, and Condition One. What about you?
Awesome.
I said mine.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Very cool.
Did a 10-minute rant on teeth.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't say it right now.
I feel like something I'm like super juiced on, man. Like that stuff is awesome.
Man.
No, that's great. That's a great question and for great conversation too. You know, just like get us talking about all the stuff that we like. It makes it so much more fun. And we hope everybody out there who's just listening, or watching, we hope that you guys are enjoying that conversation too. And another good thing that can come from that is maybe you heard a band that you hadn't checked out recently, and you get a chance to go check out some new music, because that is, why we're here, is to talk about some new music. But before you go check out any other band, make sure you stop by, check out Infinite Sleep, check out their most recent EP that they put out, Martyrs, especially if you like the song that we just played, because they got 3 other tracks that are on that EP that are killer. And you got awesome breakdowns, you got really cool vocals that I think have wonderful range, going from, kind of hardcore style to some good lows. and it's a different sound from something else you've heard before too. So go check these guys out. Check out that most recent EP and put them on your radar because they're still putting stuff out. And they got music going on, and they're going to be playing shows. And if you get a chance to see them during one of these little 3-4 show stints, like go check them out. We're really excited that you guys stopped by tonight. We're really excited that you took some time to, just tell us your side of the world and how you're doing it, man. This has been really great. We've had some really cool laughs too, and it's fun whenever the people that you're hanging with, kind of grew up the same way you did. A lot of the same like musical tastes, and we're all kind of in the same spot here. So it's funny how everybody does their own little thing, but whoop, here we are talking about metal today. And anyway, I love it, and I can't thank you guys enough for taking the time. I know we said about an hour, and it's been about an hour and a half. Whenever we're having a really good time, that's what happens. It just kind of keeps going and going and going. But just know that we hear you out here, and the people who listen in the Metal Block world, they're hearing you out here, and we're really excited to see what you guys got coming in the future.
Cool, man. We really thank you guys for having us. It really means a lot. We really appreciate anyone, like I said, giving us the time of day because there's so much fucking content, so many bands out here. It's really hard. I mean, it's not hard for me because I don't have nothing else to do but listen to music, but it's really hard.
Well, hell yeah. We'll be looking out for all that new stuff you guys are putting out, man. Most definitely.
Cool, man.
Well, thanks for joining us. Greg, Brando, do you guys have any other questions you wanted to add?
That's it for me, man.
All questioned out. But I do want to say thank you guys. It was great meeting you, and looking forward to seeing what you guys have coming forward and what you guys have in store for your future. I think it's going to be big. So
keep an eye out for that album.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you guys.
And hey, when we'll close out, but just hang out 1 second. We'll make sure everything gets uploaded before you guys go on your way. So I've said thank you a million times, and I do it always at the end. I tend to drag it out with a bunch of thank yous, but that's like we're so grateful that bands want to take the time to come hang with us too. Like every time this happens, we always end up meeting awesome people, and I feel like like if I'm ever out in California and we're ever checking out shows, like I'm gonna be like, hey, we should hit up the Infinite Sleep guys and see what they're doing, see if they're going to any shows or something. So, that's what I can walk away from these things too is, I got buddies that, I get out of the deal. So, I'm a little bit selfish here, but, you guys are like my friends now. Lucky you. And everybody else out there, they know how it is if they know me. So, we're just excited to share the love of the music. And but I'm going to end there. Thanks, fellas. Metal Block over and out.
Later.